All right, I'm back with another budget knife. This is loaned in from EDC for Fun, Dennis. He's a great guy. He's a good guy. He's worked with me on some stuff and been on the EDC hour with Alex and I. And he sent in a few knives. and let's just dive right into it. This is the CJRB Ekko, Ekko, I think is how you pronounce it. Ekko. I don't know. And it's under $60. It's like $57, I think I found on the Artisan Cutlery website. This particular one comes in green micarta. They do have a version in carbon fiber and just full aluminum scales without the overlays. Or, yeah, overlay, I guess you'd call it. Kind of weird, but it is a button lock. And button locks are fun and fidgety, but the detents are kind of weak in general. And button locks aren't really my favorite. They're fun. They're kind of cool, but especially with it being a front flipper primarily. That front flipper tab sometimes gets in the way of my finger when it goes to close. Depending on how I am holding it, it is rubbing against my finger right now. It's not impeding the movement of the blade, but it is rubbing against. So, yeah, depending on where my hand is, it may rub the blade, which is just an annoyance, if you will. Size on this is 4 3/8 closed, 7.5 overall, 3.2 inch blade, 3.0 inch cutting edge, blah, 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 3.5 ounces. Okay. Blade steel. As I've talked about before, blade steel really doesn't matter. I mean, it does, it matters in the pricing a little bit. The blade steel on this one is AR RPM 9. It's a powdered steel. I've talked about that in other videos. So I think blade steel, let's just talk about that for a minute. This is AAR PM 9. So it's a budget steel, but it's great. It works fine and all of that. We've got D2 on this budget knife. It's probably standard D2, not CPM D2, because there is a distinction. And then we've got S35VN over here on the custom Hellraiser. I don't think that it matters what the blade steel is other than in pricing. And so that you know, I'm not going to spend $2,000 for just some, AR RPM 9 steel or just standard D2. Like, yes, we are paying for the artistry and craftsmanship of the custom knife, but I also expect custom makers to use premium steels. Now, that doesn't always math out, because Phil Harvey, who makes the Peacemaker, not mine. I mean, yes, he made mine, but not just for me. He makes the Peacemaker, the Gladius, and a lot of these other ones. He does use CPM D2, and it is a $1,500+ knife. So yeah, you are spending money with maybe lesser steels, but the Peacemaker, the Gladius, those types of knives are really not knives that you're carrying and using on a regular basis. I did just do a short video with a YouTube short with the Peacemaker, splitting some 2x4s and stuff. So go check that out if you haven't already. So it gets used a little bit for show and whatnot. So green micarta for $56, $57. Can you really go wrong? They do give you a lanyard tube hidden in the barrel spacer there, which I think is cool if you are into lanyards. I am not, so it doesn't matter to me, but I like the fact that it's hidden and not just a hole right through the scales that looks awkward, like on this Skaha 2. That is one aspect of this knife that I don't particularly love. Does it hate it? Do I hate it? Did it distract me from actually buying it? No. Do I think CJRB should recess their clips? Yes. But that's just me. This is a Ray Laconico design. It's designed many a knife for many companies, which is cool. So let's do a couple of size comparisons. Something new to the arsenal here is the Knipex Pocket Pliers. I don't even know. I'm not even sure what to say about these pliers yet. I don't know. We'll come back to that. There will be a video of those at some point. The Sharpie, the Kubi, just because, and how about the Spyderco Delica that I think everybody is pretty familiar with size-wise. So, yeah, I don't know. What can I say more about CJRB? They're a great budget line. You can get the timing down so that it doesn't bounce every time. I know I've showed it bouncing a lot. Button locks are not my thing necessarily, but you can. It's a timing thing on when you release the button, because if you release the button there, now it's just, it's got some resistance. So you can do it that way as well. I'm glad that they put the thumb hole in here, or else I would really just not like this knife at all, because front flipper only is kind of a deal breaker for me. If I have a front flipper and a thumb stud and a reverse flick, like if I have options, then I'm okay with it. But front flipper only is not my deal. So let me know your thoughts. I would appreciate it. I've got a CJRB playlist over here in the corner. Go check it out. They've got a huge variety of different makes and models.